little bit of 80s. Another one of my favorite songs. Nothing's gonna stop us now. Leslie, you're bringing out some oldies but goodies. Thank you. Hey, it is Thursday, Thankful Thursday. Please take some time to make sure that y'all are sharing some gratitude. It does your heart good when you give gratitude to others. So please take some time to do that today. I know everybody's got a lot going on. And let's also remember that gratitude and giving gratitude is good for the soul. So, Linda, COTD, do we have a class of the day today?
Yes, today we are doing list dissect your listing. Although I think I'm gonna add on, like, if you guys have pipeline people that you don't know what to do with, or if it's a deal or how to handle the situation, like buyers or sellers, bring those too. Like, let's just talk through the situations, because I think I talked to a few agents yesterday who I helped get some people like, oh wait, no, that's a now person, or that kind of thing. So let's do that too. Let's just tack it on to y'all. Hop on that Zoom if you have any people that you're like curious, or how I would handle it, or how someone would handle it if you're not sure how to handle it. So I'm going to use that Zoom for that too today.
I love that. That brings me to before I get into shift. That brings me to something that it's been on my mind lately, just in regards to salespeople. Linda, I sent it for you today. I sent it to you today. What did I send to you this morning? It's like 7. What did it say?
It's closing day.
Every day is closing day.
Yeah.
Okay. Every day is closing day. And what I've seen and realized is the sales professionals, some of us have forgotten to close. Some of us have forgotten how to ask for the close. There's a saying, if you don't ask, you're not going to get it. But if you don't ask and close, you're not going to get it. And so if somebody tells you no, it's just no for right now. It doesn't mean no forever. And how many times are you asking for the close during your servicing process, right? Like, how many times are you asking them, hey, does this meet your need? What is stopping you from purchasing this house? We can go ahead and ask for them to buy down the rate, or to give you closing cost, or give you a longer extended time. Like, hey, here's my solutions. Any reason why you wouldn't move forward today? Same thing in a listing presentation. Any reason why you wouldn't go ahead and sign today and do the right thing so we can move this forward, right? And the same thing just with anything in life. I don't think we're asked for the close. I think we want the relationship. And then I also believe that if we are not asking for the close, and specifically if it's in a sales relationship, y'all are missing a big mark. So are you confident enough to ask for the close? And if you're not, then we need to work on your value proposition. So I just realized that I'm like, because I'm very confident. Obviously, I'm very pushy. I know that I am, but I know the products that I'm delivering. And like I told Linda yesterday, if you don't deliver that with that type of energy, and ask for the close, you may never get the close, right? So just something to think about. I want to make sure that y'all are actually asking to do business with people, and you're asking to move it forward through the pipeline. Linda, I love that y'all are going to do that today with the pipeline. I think that's a great offering. So what time is that?
That's a great question. Hold on, let me look at my calendar.
All right. Well, you're doing
12 to 2.
okay.
I'm going to be on Zoom.
12 to
So
2
bring
on
your
Zoom.
pipeline and your listings. We'll do both.
12 to 2 on Zoom. We'll put that in the chat just so everybody has it. All right, we're on shift tactic number 11, master the market of the moment. Short sales, foreclosures, and REOs. It says, I love this quote. It says, the game of life is not so much in holding a hand as playing a poor hand well. So it says, the game of life is not so much in holding a good hand as playing a poor hand well. And so some people would call this market a poor hand. I call it the land of opportunity. Anytime I feel like something is down to me, like, I love to come into a business and turn it around. Like, if anything seems bad to everybody else, like, that's where I'm marching towards, because then I get to go fix it. And that means for me, there's a ton of opportunity, which also means that there's a lot of opportunity in this market, but you have to work strategically and different to get access to those things. So short sales, foreclosures, and REOs. Anybody know what's happening in that market with those properties right now? Are they going up? Are they increasing or are they going down? Are we not getting as much of those?
Up.
Up. And so, yes, increasing. Sam said increasing. I love this. I'm gonna read a few things that I highlighted. It says niches and unique opportunities that show up in one market disappear in another. And so what's unfortunate is some people have made some financial decisions that have put their financials at risk, right? And their homes at risk. And y'all, they need somebody that can help them with care, assist them so that they can move forward in whatever it is that they may need or want to do. I love this. It says lenders want people to borrow money when they buy a home. Responsible lending is good business. Conversely, irresponsibility is bad business. You would expect the first and not so much the second, but inevitably, we sometimes experience a lot of the second, which can create opportunities. Some people get in over their head financially, and this is especially true when a shift occurs, right? And that's what I just stated. But some things on the buy side, and then I'm going to go into the three markets for short sales, foreclosures, and REOs. Some things to keep in mind on the buy side, y'all. There are so many, and we've talked about creative financing. There are so many ways if a buyer wants to buy, truly wants to buy, there are so many ways that you can limit the amount of money they bring to the table so that they have money, obviously, for their monthly mortgage. But if they can't afford maintenance, if they can't afford furniture, it may not be the right time for them to purchase a home. So just like smart lending matters, being a smart fiduciary matters as an agent. So how can we help coach them? How can we get them with reputable credit repair companies? I know New American Funding does that. How can you get them with certain servicers that you know are going to create a number one trust? They're not just going for the deal and service, so that we can properly take care of the people that we're working with on the buy side. On the sell side, right? We need to get really clear on, are we about to have a short sale on our hand, a foreclosure, and then we'll talk a little bit about REOs. It says, in a downward shift, you are uniquely positioned to help both the buyer and lender work out their problems together or separately. Before foreclosure, during foreclosure, or after foreclosure, you can help both buyer and lender from selling a house that's become a burden to helping plot a path back to credit worthiness and minimizing financial losses. Tough times for one person usually turn into tough times for many. And it talks about the three markets: short sales, individuals or families trying to avoid foreclosures; foreclosures, bargain hunters and investors seeking to buy value; and then REOs, financial institutions with an above average number of foreclosures to sell. And as you just heard, and I did look this up, they are increasing, and that is a market that I want y'all to be aware of. There are programs where you can go find short sales and foreclosures, or pre-foreclosures, so that y'all could get ahead of it. But I think just ignoring it is a miss, and quite frankly, it's not a service for the customer. The customer is scared, obviously. They're in a financial situation that they do not want to be in. And how can we help them either keep their house and help coach them to keep their house? Or if it's in that bad of a situation, how do we create an offering where we can help them sell it, help them get to where they need to go, and then not leave them? Let me just say this, not leave them. How can we get them with a reputable company that can help them coach themselves back into financial stability, right? So what are y'all hearing me say from this? Because I'm going to show a chart in just a second, but I want to stop. I've said a lot. What are you hearing me say? I'm going to
There's
offer
opportunity for us to be a great resource to people.
Yes, there's opportunity to be a great resource for people. And instead of running from a hard conversation, which is a foreclosure conversation for somebody, like, how can we be the light that can go in and help them, and then help them after the transaction to help them coach them back into financial stability? Somebody else had unmuted themselves.
Oh, it was me. I was just going to say that there's a solution to every problem. And I think just as we talked about at team meeting last week with your not letting people think that you don't do that. Like if you know how to help somebody, make sure your people know that. It's a hard conversation, but anyways, that's what I think. I think we just, because this is something we can help with and make sure that we can get them out of a sticky situation. So how can we make sure our people know that we're the resource for that?
Yeah, I mean, you've got to make the call to let people know, right? And then you've got to earn their trust and be a resource for them and not just look at it as a transaction, right? So I want to make sure that y'all are coming at this with care, right? But then there is a candor conversation, because if they have to make a move and they're in dire straits, right? We need to make sure that we are giving them the candor they need and then the coaching. So I think I'm going to coin that phrase: care, candor, and then coaching on the backside when they need it most. So don't just give them care and candor, sell the house and leave them high and dry. Care, candor, and then coach them on the other side. I want to talk about the market shift diagram real quick. Leslie and Linda, can one of y'all share? Oh, there we go. Thank you. This is important to know. What's happening with interest rates, you guys? They're going down?
No, they're going up.
Yep. And they're not going to go down right now. Okay. So let's just call it what it is. And instead of sitting on the sidelines, how can we get creative again for buyers and sellers? But I want to go over this because it talks about this cycle, and I think it's really important. Do we have less buyers right now, more sellers?
Yes.
Anybody know if average home prices are falling?
Yes.
Sellers honestly, I don't know. I need to look at that. Sellers get upside down, short sales and defaults starting to increase, foreclosures are starting to increase, REOs hit the market. This may be a great time for y'all to start talking to some lending institutions, and how can you be the go-to so that you can help the lending institution and you can help the customer going through foreclosure or short sale. Or how can you work with the REO department, and then essentially you're setting yourself up to serve a lot more people at that point. Then we're going to average home prices fall further, more sellers get upside down, foreclosures increase, more REOs hit the market. Hey, Patricia, I'm sorry I did not ask you this prior, but what is the best way? Like if we're wanting to work with a lending institution, what would you recommend? Don, I know you used to work at a bank as well. Like what would y'all recommend? How do we reach out to some of these lending institutions and let them know, like, hey, if you have properties that you need to sell, or that the customer is going through foreclosure, or who's in your REO department, like where would y'all suggest that we go? Who do we ask for if we want to be a resource to the lending institution?
Great question. And I know Patricia, has some very good insight. I'm going to come from a different perspective, um, because I work a lot with smaller banks, and what that looks like is not the regional or national banks. So, Wells Fargo, Bank of America, Regions, some of these other banks, they handle that process a little bit differently. But so for some of the smaller banks like Bank of Bartlett, uh, uh, Southern Bancorp, Community Bank, some of these very, very local banks. It's just about building relationships and just treating that very similar to how we treat our clients, which means go in looking for ways to add value. And you add value. Of course, their goal is to try to sell it or maximize the profit. Banks are not real estate companies or property management companies. So honestly, they don't want it on their books. And so when you go in looking to help add value from a relationship standpoint and build that relationship, they'll start looking at you potentially list their homes, or looking at you to potentially, when their clients come in and have challenges, being a recommendation for you. And there are also other opportunities as well. And once they see you as a value partner, they'll present you opportunities, to buy homes or even offer lines of credit to help grow your business. So the local banks are the ones that I would look to establish relationships with.
Great advice. I love that. Thank you. Going into the banks and having and establishing those relationships, y'all, that the institutions can essentially be your lead generation, right? Patricia, you got anything else to add to that?
Yeah, I was just going to say as well, banks are not in business to foreclose properties.
Correct.
As Donald said, that is not what they want to do. So just making sure you stay in communication with them, just you have to communicate, talk to them, let them know what is going on, with them financially, whatever the case may be. There are ways that they can actually set up different things to, allow them to keep their home. So just communicating with them and letting them know, staying in contact with them.
Yeah, I mean, any type of communication, any type of relationships that y'all can make in that space is always going to benefit your potential customers because you have resources like Don and
Right.
Patricia are resources, right? For us, and providing a lot, quite frankly, a lot of value and insight for us on this call. So, all that
And
to
there's
say,
help out
okay,
there. And I was going to say there is help out there. There are not some of the nonprofit organizations, that can help as well when you have someone that's in a situation such as that in the process of losing their home.
and y'all go make the call to these people and go serve people, people that need help, and don't look at it from I need to sell their house. Look at it from how can I serve them and help them keep their home. And then I guarantee you help somebody do that, you will get that return somewhere tenfold. All right, y'all. Shift is it. We're still in it, and it is what it is. And the more that we can put it in a box and learn how to get creative, the better off we're all going to be. Don't forget the creative financing sheet. Make sure y'all put that on your desktops. Y'all need it. Please study it. We'll see y'all tomorrow. Y'all have a good one. Make it count. Bye, everybody.